Yow, what up, nyakos? It's your buddy Philko here reporting live for your mama's house. You know that most hated dude with the incredible mood? Doing my thing as I usually do, spending that hater money, enjoying myself. But I just saw this picture. You know, Facebook does the whole memory picture thing. It says 4 years ago you uploaded this picture and shit. And 4 years ago, this was the picture 4 years ago today, apparently. It was me and my boys back in New York. We were at Webster Hall. I think this might have been after my first visit to Russia. This was 2012, 4 years ago. Wait, actually no. It was before I ever went to Russia. It was before. And I had some money at the time. You know, acting was going good. And so I wanted to, get my money up to have a VIP night for me and my friends. Now, I remember us all pitching in for it, but if I'm not mistaken, I definitely paid the most to make that happen, you know what I mean? And so, it was all six of us, Now, I'm not going to say who the person is I'm talking about in this video, but I'm going to basically say everybody in this picture, if not my best friend, is a very close friend or was at a time. I can clearly say 4 of these guys are my best friends in this picture, or probably my only friends in the world. You know what I mean? My only real friends, because I think a real friendship takes years. You know what I mean? It takes years. I mean, you can have people who are your friends, but I mean, true friendship takes years. You know what I mean? That takes years. It takes good times. It takes bad times. It takes helping each other out when you really need it. Through dramatic situations. I've been through some crazy things with these guys. A few crazy things. You know what I mean? I remember one time things almost went crazy when some girl tried to claim my friend raped her and shit. I mean, I wasn't too involved with that situation, but I could have got involved because I was sure my friend didn't try to do that shit. But anyway, when we have these close friends or whatever, we tend to swear to God we know what they would do and what they wouldn't do. Now, there was only one time that I remember where I was actually just surprised by the action of one of my friends. I rarely ever party with these guys. Now, even though they were my closest friends, we didn't really party together, We didn't do the whole club thing together, really. It wasn't often. I mean, after this, we did it once in a while, but it wasn't often. I would just say the white guy, the one in front of me, that's Dre. That's New York Dre. That's the dude who is the opposite of the Dre here in Russia. He's the one who taught me how to party, how to drink, and how to get women and stuff like that. He's the one that taught me that. So Dre put me on the game, then I put a dude named Dre into the game. So Dre helped Phil helps Dre, like that, right? So he put me onto the game, whatever. So it's not him. So you have four options. My other four niggas right there, like my best friends from high school, whatever, right? So this night we went out, and let's just say, what should I call this dude? I'm gonna just call him that nigga. So me and this nigga went out to a club, first time together. And the first thing I saw him do, because we were all real drunk from the VIP, we went downstairs being real drunk and shit. First thing I saw this nigga do is grab a girl's ass at random. And he didn't run, he didn't hide it, he just grabbed it and just smiled and kept walking. And the girl was coming hey! But she wasn't even that mad. So I'm like, alright, that's just an ass slap. But then, 20 minutes later, I remember seeing him not just slap this girl's ass, but he kind of cupped her. You know what it is to cup a girl? If you don't know what cupping is, it's when you kind of put your hand under a girl and you lift up your hand, so it's your palm is kind of on her ass and your fingers on her vagina, and you just grab like that. Or he might have done it with the thumb in the ass and a middle finger in the pussy or something. But I remember him putting his hand there to a different girl. She's like, holy shit. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? And I was shocked. I was like, dude, I think you're too drunk. And then I was like, all right, maybe he just did those two things. I'm sure he won't do it again. Now, when I absolutely figured out this is just the type of person he is, we were walking up the stairs and there was a girl in front of us with a short skirt. This dude, I don't remember if he lifted the skirt or not. To be honest, I don't remember. But I do remember him either lifting up the skirt or not, but shoving his face in between her ass cheeks and taking in a deep breath. And at this point, I was shocked. I couldn't even fucking walk. So I walked away from him. And I went up to my other niggas, and I was like, "Yo, would you believe this nigga is doing this, doing that, doing this?" And they're all, and I'm shocked. I'm like, "Yo, we gotta talk to him. You won't believe what I saw. He's doing this and that." And they're all like, "Yeah, we know." I'm like, "What the fuck you mean, you know?" He's like, "He does this all the time. We're used to it." And I'm like, "What the fuck? And nobody kills this dude? He doesn't get kicked out?" And they're like, "No, for some reason he always gets away with it." He was doing that shit all night, and he got away with it. I'm not sure to this day why this dude always got away with that, but he always got away with it. He always got away with it. Maybe it was because he maybe has a soft appearance that people let him get away with it, but he, at least to my knowledge, he always got away with it. I could not believe what was going on that night. I could not believe it. I will never forget how it felt like a movie. You know how in a movie, you know, it's like you, like some character in the movie discover something and they think it's like the biggest shit in the world and they're like, "Oh, so you discovered our secret. We've already known. You just didn't know." That's how it felt in this situation. Now, I didn't look at him as less of a person. Of course, I didn't like what he was doing, and of course, I would never for a second let him do that kind of shit in Russia. Of course not. But in America, you know, it's a little different. And I don't know. To this day, I'll never forget how shocked I was. And I just could not believe that all my homies were just like, "Yeah, nigga, we know, nothing new." And they were just all like nonchalant, just, "Yeah, he does it. Blah, 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 blah." And they keep talking about whatever they talk about. I'm just like, yo, nobody tells me shit. Because even though they're my closest friends, there's times in which I feel and or felt that they were closer to each other than they were to me because, like, they watch certain things I don't watch, like animes, I don't watch it. They play certain games that I don't really play. Like, they play PlayStation 4 mostly. So when I found out they were playing a game called, shit, the fuck is the name of that game? It was some game they played. I bought the fucking game and the expansion pack, total like $85 and shit. And the next day I'm like, "Yo guys, I bought this game. I'm gonna play with you guys." And they're like, "Dude, we stopped playing that game. There's a new game coming out next week. No one plays that old shit. You gotta buy the new game." So I bought that game for $80 fucking dollars, and these motherfuckers didn't even play it anymore. I had to wait and buy the new game and shit for another fucking $80. Well, actually, I might have bought it from the Russian network, so it might have been cheaper, but I could not believe that shit. So, you know, with certain things, I'm kind of out of the loop, you know what I mean? With certain things. But in general, you know, we all started chilling in high school. Actually, some of them met in junior high school, but I started hanging out with these guys in high school, and we've been friends ever since. So, you know, up and down adventures and shit. But when I get back to New York, we will continue it. We will definitely continue it. One of the things I did like, my homie Steve, he's not in this picture, but one thing I did like about hanging out with Steve was when I first became a YouTuber, before I came to Russia, I was pretty popular with the Russians in New York. So it was cool for me to meet fans and stuff when I went out and to hang out with them and take them home and hang out with Steve and with those girls too. That was pretty fucking cool to see him happy like that. I felt like a good friend. Oh, and one more story. And I'm going to say who it is for this one. Now, I'm not going to say he is or isn't the guy I was talking about who was like touching the girls' asses and shit. But the dude who's second to the right, the tallest one, that's Kevin. I remember this one night I was out with some fans and shit. This was before I came to Russia. And I had this one Russian chick who knew how to dance and shit. She grinding on me and shit. It was in Webster Hall. It was my favorite club. We went every night. This girl's grinding, kissing, everything. Like, I'm enjoying it. So I look over to my left and I see my homie Kevin. He used to be kind of a fat dude, but then he became attractive and then girls really started liking him. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, he became attractive, whatever. He used to be fat, then became attractive. And as I look to my left, I kind of see like a girl, a hot ass chick, like on top of him on the couch. And it looked, at least to me at the time, it looked like her hand was going into his pants or opening the belt buckle. One of those two things. Like, she was about to fuck him in the club or just give him a hand job or something. And this shit isn't like hidden that well. They're kind of in a corner, but it's not hard to see because even I saw it and I was on a stage. And I loved Webster Hall. I had free passes every weekend. Every weekend I could bring whoever I wanted with me for free. You know, I kind of had some connections back in New York with the club Webster Hall. I was always up in there. If you're a dude who went to Webster Hall anytime between the years 2009 to 2013, if you went there constantly, you definitely saw me mad enough times. Mad enough I was up in there. You know, I had a huge reputation for being in Repsol Hall. Girl getting reputation, whatever, for being in Repsol Hall. And they were mostly German, Austrian, French, and some Russian, but mostly German and Austrian. That was my favorite thing back in the day. But I see him, and I'm on the stage dancing. I kind of push the girl to the side, and I run at top speed. I jump off the stage. I'm like, oh, Kevin, don't whip your dick out. Please don't whip your dick out. I love this club. Now, we're both drunk as fuck. We're drunk as shit, enjoying ourselves, but I didn't want him to whip his dick out because I like going there. And if his dick was out, the security would have kicked him out and then kicked all of us out because we were a group. And I like going there, so I begged him not to whip his dick out and, like, you know, do it some other time, you know, when you get home or something. But yeah, man, that shit was hilarious. It was like a no slow motion, don't whip your dick out. Got like my hand on his belt buckle, like, don't do it. You know what I mean? It was fucking crazy. But anyway, yeah, these guys are wild. So I'm not going to say who it was, who was grabbing asses and sniffing butt cheeks. But if you think you know who it is from the picture, you can say who you think it is. You feel me? And that's basically it, guys. Crazy times in New York. We're definitely going to continue it once I get back. We're definitely going to continue it. And I'm out, Nicholas. Later.
Or you just a talk.